right, and welcome to Fast Break Breakfast NBA Podcast. My name is Keith, here once again with my buddy Chuck in the flesh.
Hey now.
No, John. John is out with the load management. He's got the load management.
We got to take care of his minutes for the playoffs.
He's been taking care of his minutes this season.
Yes.
You know,
There's
no reason to overuse.
This has been a long, arduous five-year playoff.
We have a whole postseason.
Mm-hmm.
Got a postseason to go.
Yeah.
He was playing every single game, the first 3-4 seasons?
That's it.
And then we realized there's no need.
No, and really, none of us are really
that
that. Yeah, we could all be replaced for somebody for one episode.
It's really true. We could.
We should outsource this.
Just design some kind of computer algorithm.
Right.
They could just spit out bad thoughts.
That's it. It would be really easy to do like a Burr bot. It would just be like Dwayne
Sartorial Splendor.
Sartorial Splendor. Dwayne Casey hate. Schadenfreude.
Yeah.
You know, and then mine would be like Bodega.
That's about it.
And that's it.
Justice Winslow. Justice
Richard Slow. Yeah, I would just, it would just be very simple. I would just say culture a lot. The Chuck bot
You
would
could just
say culture.
get me saying,
Right.
Just that. So I'm gonna take those audio files.
We need to get like a soundboard. We need a soundboard.
We have a sound. John bought us a soundboard.
We should play with a soundboard.
We've never used it for the upcoming live podcast, which we haven't done.
We've never done
the
live
upcoming
podcast.
video podcast, which honestly, we're like $20 away technically on our Patreon.
Yeah.
We said once we got to the $500 a month, we would deliver these video podcasts. Thankfully, no one has stepped up.
Right.
So we don't have to.
We're not required or obligated to work anymore.
Listen, I'm under load management.
Right.
I'm like Drew Holiday. Like, you know what? That elective surgery, let's do that.
Right. I'm a severely underplayed payer who's waiting for his big contract, and I'm not going to waste my good stuff. Underpaid.
You're underplayed. Chuck,
probably underpaid.
You are the most underplayed.
I'm underplayed. Yeah, I'm the guy who's waiting for the next contract. You're not going to see my good stuff until it's like 2 weeks before time to sign that contract.
You are Antonio Blakeney waiting for Zach LaVine to sit out a couple of weeks.
I'm Ike Austin. Ooh, that's that's OG Memphis Grizzly Ike Austin.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He used to play for the Heat. Had one good Heat season.
He came up in a Basketball Reference search I was doing. I can't remember.
All I remember about him was that he kind of played okay when Alonzo Mourning got hurt one year, and his ears he looks like a deformed human, like an orc with bad orc ears.
So
from Bright.
I didn't want to say he looked like an orc from Bright, but that's what I was thinking. And then you said what he looks like. I wish John was here to help me out with the technical comic book description that I'm doing. He looks like if David Wesley took the Bane venom that made him like grow up all big and weird.
Right.
And I know John will never hear this. But if he did, he'd be very upset with me getting whatever the terms wrong are.
Yeah, he would. That's why.
I just know I played that Batman Arkham Knight video game that was really fun.
I love that game. I played
great.
it in PlayStation 2, I think, or 3.
I don't remember. I think it was 3. I don't think they came out to then.
It was so good.
That's actually a video game. So when I got the Xbox One, 2 years ago, which was a preemptive move, still waiting for Red Dead Redemption 2 to come out, I actually bought lots of other games that were very cheap because you could buy the entire Arkham trilogy for like $6.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, I'm buying that. And now it's part of my Xbox One collection of games I've never played and will never play. I have like 7 Xbox One games and I played 2 of them.
Really?
Haven't even unwrapped the other ones.
I've never played an Xbox game.
I have, so I've been playing the Red Dead. It's the only one I've been playing.
Yeah.
I can't play when my son's around. I don't want him to see. He's very interested in it. He's very interested in the Dad Cowboy game because he sees like screenshots. It'll be like paused, and he's like, what is that?
It's like Real Cowboy.
I'm like, it's a game. He's like, oh. And sometimes he'll if I'm downstairs with the baby, he'll start sneaking down the steps. And I'll be playing the video game downstairs, and he'll like pause on the steps quietly to try to catch a glimpse. Anyway, but the wife is like, no Red Dead with the 4-year-old. I'm like, fine. But now the 18-month-old, she's started to watch where she actually knows what she sees because she now says choo choo.
Right.
So she says choo choo. I'm like, oh, you're now seeing what I'm doing.
Right. Maybe I shouldn't be.
There are people flayed alive, tied to a stump in this game right now. By the way, Red Dead Redemption, horribly violent game.
Graphic.
Like really sick stuff in there.
Yeah.
They stepped it up to, they turned it up to 11 for the sequel.
It's one louder.
Lot of skinned alive people and things.
I'd imagine that's what happened a lot in the Old West.
I think they overdid it.
Leather was a commodity. I imagine you'd need to do
Anyway, so I have a lot of unplayed video games. I don't remember how we got here. Ike Austin.
Ike Austin.
Anyway, Chuck, breakfast.
Breakfast. Well, I haven't had it because we're podcasting early today.
We are early in the morning because John's in New York.
John's in New York, so we could get up and actually be adults. We don't have to wait till 2:00 to podcast. But I walked in here and Keith said, we're having donuts for breakfast. I'm like, all right. So we got 2 donuts here from Five Daughters Bakery.
Five Daughters Bakery.
And let me tell you something. I got something in my cross stuck in there about that Five Daughters Bakery. First of all,
this is fair.
Not really a bakery because when you buy them, there's no oven in the building. They make them off site and then ship them to some boutique shop where they tell you it's a bakery. That's fraudulent and shouldn't be allowed in the modern gastroeconomic world. We all know. Did I say gastroeconomic? Man, did I just invent?
That's no. The gastroeconomy is a real thing.
That's okay. Yeah, okay. Maybe I've never even. I probably have read that. That's a great word.
Gastro. He was one of the Cobra bad guys. G.I. Joe.
I thought he was in Beauty and the Beast. Gastro was the.
Oh yeah.
Was the bad guy.
No one. Something like Gastron.
Gastronomy. It's what it's about. The study of the bad guy in Beauty and the Beast.
So that's your objection with Five Daughters. Five Daughters is a chain. I thought that was going to be your predominant.
Well, it is. You can't call it a bakery if you don't bake it on site. That's not a bakery. You are a donut distributor.
Yeah, it wouldn't have bothered me if they called themselves Five Daughters Donuts.
Right. And it kind of rolls off the tongue a little better.
$5 donuts.
And they're $5 for a donut.
They're expensive.
Come on, man. I get it. You put bacon and maple glaze, but they did that in Portland. Are you going to eat this?
If you're just going to be angry about it, I'm not going to let you eat it. Well,
which one should I get?
No, so they are both for you if you want them.
What?
But I got you the fancy one. So here we are. Chuck, we're filming this for the Patreon folks. So Chuck has grabbed.
What's cute is Keith got forks and knives.
Yeah, I got some plastic cutlery. This is the name of this donut, Chuck. The King Kong.
Okay.
The King Kong. So for you listeners right now, it is a gigantic glazed donut covered in, I don't know what the icing is, and gigantic hunks of bacon.
Huge chunks of bacon.
So Chuck, tell us about this donut.
So this is a good donut, and I get why they charge $5 for it. I'm just stuck on the word bakery. Like it wouldn't be a deli if they didn't have a pastrami slicer. You know what I mean? Like there's certain.
I never thought about it.
So it's a fluffy donut. There's some cream involved on the inside.
There's inner cream.
There's inner cream. It's layered. You've got the maple glaze, which is kind of incredible. And my only thing is they've used an overly smoky piece of bacon.
Oh, I don't like. They really smoked it up.
I don't like any smoke in my sweetness. So or with this kind of thing, I guess. So it would have been good just with salty, but they use smoky, which I guess
is it what is the cream? Is it just a maple cream, a maple icing on the top there?
I mean, I could be wrong. Yeah, that's just a maple icing. Oh my god, it's so good though. Yeah, you should try some.
So I'm gonna eat some of the icing. This is just a slam bang all sugar with a smoky bacon on top.
Pretty much. I mean, maybe it's not as smoky as I thought. But my goodness, that is tasty.
Oh, there's definitely smoky bacon flavor left over on the bit of icing I just ate.
Yeah.
The other one.
What is that?
So Chuck, the one you ate cost $4.75.
Gracious.
The other one is just a cinnamon. It's a vegan cinnamon donut. This one costs $2.75. This one is. I love this one. I think it's a very tasty, delicious donut, and I don't feel as decadent eating a $3 donut.
Oh, that's fine. It's well done. And I'm sure those could be good for a day. And they worked out their business model or they're shipping good product. But man.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that donut.
Yeah, they know how to do. They know how to do donuts. They're just not bakers. You're not baking nothing, fam. Quit lying to folks.
Where are they? Are they baking them? Because I know they're in several different states.
Yeah, they're baking them somewhere.
Are
Probably
they
in
making them in like Alabama,
some distribution
Gulf
plant.
Shores or something? Or
Yeah, they mass
shipping
produced
them?
it.
Yeah,
Eating on air is so good for our brand.
it is. My wife can't even like be in the same room with me if I'm eating because she like has I forgot what it's called, some kind of auditory gastro auditory affliction.
She can't listen to Beauty and the Beast either.
No.
This is an incredible donut, and I get it.
Yeah.
It's great. I'm glad I had it though, because my blood sugar was dipping a little
You
bit.
dipping a little. All right. Well, I also had I pre-donut. I had just they're plain glazed before you showed up. So those were our breakfasts.
Killer.
And we'll put the video of Chuck in a fast break breakfast hoodie
Repping that gang.
available at tpublic.com/user/fast break breakfast.
Yes, sir.
Feel free to slow down the podcast to get that URL. That'll be up on the Patreon site. We've been putting some more stuff up there. That's patreon.com.
Smash some filet of fish
Fast
recently.
break breakfast.
Blazer Boy made an appearance. Shout out Blazer Boy.
We weren't sure if it was respectful enough for a Blazer Boy appearance in the tragic circumstances with Yusuf Nurkic, but I thought it was tasteful from Blazer Boy.
I think he did he did a good job showing the despair of a Portland Trailblazer fan. And I wouldn't ask for any other kind of input than that from Blazer Boy.
Yeah, he did a good job. Anyway, so those were our breakfasts. After our breakfast, we moved to our breakfast in bed. Apologies. This is our chance to make right what we might have gotten wrong on any previous episode. Chuck, do you have anything you need to apologize
Yeah, I'm
for?
sorry. I kind of came in hot last week with Justice Winslow and calling him an all-star and all that stuff. And they've done well with him off the court. He's been injured recently. But he doesn't have the numbers yet. The eye test for me of late, he looks all-star-esque. But he ain't there yet. He's got probably another Mango season or two to go.
Yeah, we forgive you for that win. We just,
I was just in it. I was feeling him.
excited, like Justice.
And now yesterday, I'm like, they lost to the Magic.
It wasn't a good loss.
It wasn't a good loss.
I mean, a very important loss.
That was kind of like
They've fallen out of the playoff.
Well,
they're still in it.
They're still in it. And what's great is like the Pistons have decided now this is their time to kind of take a nosedive, which is, due to my luck, going to be the reason why they win 6 in a row.
Yeah.
Because whenever I mention the Pistons, they do well. So,
And you got the
Hornets.
The Hornets who
won the last 4.
They had an 18-point rally against the Celtics.
Mm.
They hit the half-court shot at the buzzer against
Lamb
the
of
Raptors.
God.
Yeah.
Takes away the sins of the world.
Seriously.
Have mercy on us.
Then they have a perfect overtime. They took the Spurs to overtime.
Yeah.
It was their first overtime win of the season. Kemba Walker was 4 for 4 in that overtime. It was statistically the best overtime played this NBA season was by Kemba Walker.
Was it? No. That's good.
It was some analytics thing, way over my pay grade. I don't know what it meant. Just trust me, guys.
It's an athletic paywall thing. Go find it.
No. Okay. I would say analytics say irrefutably the best overtime played this season. That's all I'm saying.
Very well.
I have no reference to back
You're
that
hip
up.
to that stuff. That stuff doesn't matter to me.
I read it. I don't know. I just regurgitate.
Well, you see it.
I see it.
My internet and my Twitter sphere is like just jokes about NBA players' sneakers.
Yeah.
And then like Burr with a wrestling gift.
I got to say, I think this is a hole in my NBA podcasting game.
Mm-hmm.
For the life of me, I cannot care about basketball shoes.
Yeah.
Cannot
there's
care
a whole
whatsoever.
world about it. And I know people who love shoes, and I at one point was a shoe fanatic. I now have 2 children.
Yeah.
You'll notice that a lot of the people who are big shoe fans also are big contraception fans because they don't have
Right.
as many kids as me.
But that's a good lesson, too, for our listeners.
It is. Keep the shoes in the box if you want them to be pristine.
Exactly.
You want that dead
Well
stock
said.
penis.
Lots of entendres there.
Yeah. So the shoe world is a world that I am familiar with, but am not well versed. But that's its own like universe. I saw this guy who's like a shoe doctor. He worked for like Nike. He's like the head of Nike's whatever for years. He teaches a class.
He's like Doc McStuffins for shoes.
Bro, he's the nerdiest looking white dude on the planet, but can tell you every make, model, brand, and colorway of any Nike shoe ever made.
So like,
And the story behind it. Like that's the kind of guy you want. Like if you're gonna have a shoe doctor. That's
So
the guy you want.
if we're watching like an episode of Bones,
yeah,
and there's a footprint of a Nike in the mud,
right. He'll tell you.
and
This was from Forrest Gump when he was.
Emily Deschanel's like, we got to find this. We have the Nike expert.
We got to get the Nike guy.
This guy can look at it. And
This is
tell
a
you
where
it was sold.
This waffle pattern was only sold in West Germany during the 1984 Olympics.
Yep. So my apology. Last week we were talking about the Lou Williams Hall of Fame
Yeah.
candidacy, and I'm sorry, Hall of Fame. I don't study you very much.
No. We
I
came
guess
in, we're like, yeah, he's a Hall of
Well,
Famer.
John was like, no chance. I just
Right.
felt like he, the narrative could get him in with so many Sixth Man of the Year awards, and also his standing among NBA players, the way he's esteemed so highly among the other players. But again, it seems unlikely. I guess the more I look into it. Then I was talking to other guys who aren't, or other players who aren't in the Hall of Fame, like Tim Hardaway.
Yeah.
You know, we mentioned him on the show. Tim Hardaway is a 5-time All NBA guy.
Yeah.
Dominant. He almost added the crossover to like the NBA.
He almost invented
landscape.
it.
Like he kind of invented it. And he's left out. I mean, although he's stated that he's not in because of his homophobic comments, which is true.
Well, he walked him back.
He did walk him back.
But he did it on air on the Dan Le Batard show, which is kind of the hardest thing to walk back from. That's a big
It's
audience.
Tough. It's tough, but
I'm pretty sure he did it on air. I'm not
no,
sure.
he did it,
It was on air, so I don't know
But
what show it was.
honestly, I'm not
Back in
condoning
the
what he
days.
said. I'm saying that was a commonly held opinion.
Yeah,
When
had.
he said it on air, was it 20 years ago or 10 years ago?
It was probably closer to 10 than 20.
10,
yeah,
yeah.
he was playing 20 years ago. It was after he stopped playing, so I would guess like
I'm
early
just saying
2000s.
it's not an uncommonly held opinion.
Yeah, we had a president get elected on not
On that.
giving
Right,
not
right,
giving
right, right,
people
right.
rights
Currently.
at that time. Yeah, currently.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, it's
too bad, but
if that's the way it is, I doubt that's the reason he's not in. I'm sure there's something else, but he'll get in eventually.
well, I mean, he's the basketball reference.
top player that should be in.
Well, he's one of them. His Hall of Fame probability is like 79%.
yeah,
which is really high, which is higher than Reggie Miller. It's higher than Anthony Davis.
wow,
It's higher than other guys who are in the like tons and tons of dudes who are in the Hall of Fame.
yeah.
It's higher than, but he's not in.
But he's no, there's a lot of players that aren't in that should be in.
But
You know.
Lou Williams still holding it
not
tight.
gonna get in. You'll be
Holding it tight, tied currently with Marco Bellinelli, Zaza Pachulia, JaVale McGee, Andrew Bogut, and Wesley Matthews.
Sorry.
At 0.004% chance to get in.
If there was a two girlfriend Hall of Fame,
He would.
you'd be first ballot. You'd be the top pick.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Wilt.
No, because Will spread it too.
He spread it
too thin.
around. Yeah, he had two mains. He had
Yeah,
he had
yeah, yeah.
sisters.
He had-
Wasn't
he-
Lou Williams
he-
the girlfriend's sisters?
I don't think so.
Man, I'm just gonna lie about
Just gonna
it.
go with that.
Yeah, makes more sense than the truth.
Anyway, those were our breakfast in bed apologies. After our breakfast in bed apologies, before we get to our steak and eggs best thing, we have a few listener submitted questions. The croissant questionnaire.
Any questions?
Yes. Are you going to finish that croissant?
Knock yourself out.
That croissant. Finish that.
We got a question here. Speaking of, we were talking about the Blazers. Question here from Counterproduct. Without Yusuf Twerkic Nurkic, do the Blazers make it out of the first round of the playoffs? I mean,
Dubious, doubtful.
here's the real question. With him,
Right. That was the more fun. That was the more fun question. The Trailblazers are locked in a battle with the Rockets for either that 3 or 4 seed, and it's still a lot of these seedings could swap. Obviously, I think the Rockets or Blazers would both prefer to play the Clippers
Right.
instead of the Jazz, who are kind of those other teams. And again, the Jazz have an easier schedule, and they've been taking care of business recently. So, could the Blazers beat the Clippers, Thunder, or Spurs without Nurkic? I think there's a chance.
yeah,
I don't think I'd pick them.
I think it's a toss up.
I mean, obviously, we're thinking CJ McCollum is coming back.
Right.
Without CJ McCollum, it's going to be much harder. But I don't know. Like, with Nurkic, I would have picked the Blazers to beat the Clippers. I think I'd pick the Blazers to beat the Thunder because the Thunder I don't believe in at all.
Yeah.
I think, although I'm gonna come back to this later in the episode, I think, about how I'm not sure anything that happens in March matters at all.
Yes.
Like, I'm not sure if the Thunder losing every single game in March matters. It might.
Can I tell you about the only Thunder basketball I've watched?
Yes, please.
Was last night, and they scored like 24 points.
Yeah,
in
they
a
had
row.
a 24-0 run.
I was
against
at a
the
bar,
Pacers.
wasted, and I'm like, man, the Thunder are unstoppable.
It might have been they'd had an 18-game slump,
Right.
and then it kind of just rectified itself a little bit.
In one,
just one little spurt against the Pacers. Poor Pacers lost 9 in a row
Yeah.
on the road.
they're not looking good.
And they chose not to cover as Domantas Sabonis passed up an uncontested dunk with 10 seconds left for the cover to throw it out to a slumping Wesley Matthews who missed the three.
I am dogging it on Pickle this month. I won a month ago.
So
I cannot
you
pick a
did
game.
all you had to do.
I won a
You
month.
won. That's all you did. I haven't won a month.
I can retire.
Pickle is a bane of my existence.
It's
It's something I have to do every 4 days. 4 days a week.
4 days a week, and we do it.
I have to participate.
But it makes you aware of lines and kind of gives me this like understanding of the basketball in a way I've never thought about it before.
Oh, it is. It's humiliating and humbling to pick against the spread. And I mean, it is fun. We love our listeners compete for prizes monthly. If you don't know, our Patreon supporters are competing for a monthly prize. I no longer have time in my day to think about it.
Yeah.
Like I can't spend 6 minutes doing it.
Right.
I just have to look at it and just pick as fast as I can.
So they're
I just want this
different.
to be
There's
over.
different people and different in the Slack. What are we at to? Like close to 100 people or 50
it's like
people?
100
people
yeah.
who do the pick'em. There's different methods. There's the Monte method that comes from Monte World Peace, where you just randomly select, and that's proven well. Sometimes there's the all home teams, all away teams, all public money, all against public money. So there's a lot of different methods. All of them have ruined me, except for 1 month when I just picked randomly.
Yeah, and
Monte method got me the victory.
Yeah, I'm trying to embrace the full Monte method, but I still read the matchups and think about it for a split second. The
Right.
true Monte method is just click.
It's
click,
just
click,
whatever.
Click. Just don't even read.
even look at
Don't
the
read.
the
The worst
names.
part of the stupid Google CAPTCHA,
Yeah.
it's like pick all the storefronts. Like,
Yeah,
why?
I'm tired of picking out
What?
crosswalks.
I don't know what. Yeah, I don't.
So yeah, go play pick'em.
So
Go play some
although
pickle.
I think the pickle season actually ends today.
Does it?
Because I don't think we do. We don't do.
Oh, we
April.
don't do April.
We might do a side.
Shout out
People-
Kirkner. You have an unmitigated.
People are addicted to it.
Oh, my
So we might
goodness.
have to run another game in April.
Yeah.
Well, we have our big playoff game
a big
coming
playoffs
in
push.
April. which
And
starts.
I forgot to check on my through the first weekend. I was crushing on my tournament bracket.
Oh,
It was me and one other guy was the top.
Let's not talk about that. That's boring. What's another question from the croissant question?
Another question here. This one comes from the one and only Love Kebab 69. Love Kebab says, with the NFL changing the defensive pass interference review rules, what do you think the next major rule or process change in the NBA will be?
What do we think it is?
What I hope it is.
What do you hope it is?
Rock and Jock 25-point hoop. I think extending the floor for more points would be a fun thing to see, like a 4-point line.
So you like the 4 point
I'm
line.
with it. I'm with it.
Is it like the break, that sideline out of bounds spot?
Yeah,
Maybe it was
that's your 4 point. That little break line that's there close to half court.
I would like to see either the elimination of the corner three
Oh,
or
make it a 2-point shot.
the expansion of the court.
Right, bigger
Make
court.
the court wider so the 3-point line is consistent all the way around.
Yeah. That wouldn't be.
I don't know
difficult.
that's something major. The things I want to get rid of. Clear path review.
Yeah,
all
chuck it.
all subjective.
yeah,
If a referee thinks that it's a breakaway, just give him the freedom to do whatever he wants.
right.
I want to change the overtime. I want it to be 4 minutes or 3 minutes.
yeah.
I've talked about this before.
Oh, we're
5 minutes makes no sense.
Yeah.
48-minute game, 12-minute quarters, 24-second shot clock, 8-second half-court violation.
Right.
These are all multiples of 8
I don't think. I think.
or 4. How do we get 5?
I think overtime. There shouldn't be time. It should be played to a bucket.
Oh, play to a bucket like Summer League?
Yeah, like summer league. So you go, 6. First team to score 6 baskets.
Oh, 6?
6 baskets. When?
Some of these teams would be playing all night.
Yeah, well, it'd be hard. Or first team
I
to
don't
30.
know that 3 overtime, or was it 4 overtime? I can't remember. That Hawks Bulls game.
Yeah.
That was fun. But why are we playing 5 minutes each time?
Yeah. Yeah,
And also coaches get frozen where they're like, I guess I can't sub anymore.
I think the biggest problem with me with close of games is the last 2 minutes of an NBA game can last a half hour.
Yeah.
With timeouts, reviews,
Review
with,
and everything.
with fouls and everything. So I would love for the clock to get turned off at the end of basketball games and just play to points. Like if the teams are, if the teams are tied or if you're within whatever with 3 minutes to play and you got 82-86, first person to 92 wins.
Well, that's the I can't. There's that game theory has a
Right.
name,
yeah,
and that's what they ran in the tournament,
right.
where it was once a team hits. I think it's once there's 3 minutes left in the game, the clock ends,
Right.
and then you just add 6 to the top score.
Right. Yeah.
Because
And that's-
that removes intentional fouling from the game.
Right.
That's the point of that. I'm not as radical there. I'm just saying 3 or 4 minutes. How does that make the game any different? I feel
Yeah.
like it would improve the game.
Yeah.
5 minutes overtime.
what I'm
too
doing
long.
is what I'm pitching is a wholesale change in the game of basketball.
also
Just to make the game a more interesting and better watchable sport.
let's seed the NBA playoffs 1 through 16,
Yeah.
regardless of conference. I'm
Right.
in.
I want probably 20 games less a year. Too.
I will say
I think there's too many games.
the NFL reviewing pass interference. This is a terrible decision.
Yes.
I know it's directly related to that
one play.
Saints Rams one play.
The tuck rule thing
now
that they always do.
we have to you're going to be challenged. I haven't even read about the rule. I assume you can challenge. This is like something now you can challenge to be like, my guy was pass interfered with or
Right,
something.
right.
But in the final 2 minutes, we're going to be reviewing all questionable calls.
Sorry, fam.
And we're going to be like, oh, that was a tough, good play. Yeah. I like erring on the side of no pass interference.
I don't care about football anymore.
Okay.
I've built a whole world around that. It's the modern day gladiators, and the people who play it are sad.
That's fair. Do we have another croissant question here?
We could do one more.
Okay.
This one, another one here from Counterproduct.
Oh.
And this is, I'm kind of interested in this too. Hey, Keith, how's the Frisbee playing going? Are you still enjoying it?
I was telling people on Monday nights now I'm playing in a indoor
Ooh.
Ultimate Frisbee League.
Big time.
I'm very old as far as Frisbee players go. It's going fine.
Right.
Thanks for asking.
I'd imagine you're the only one that doesn't reek of marijuana too.
No,
That's like a big pot smoking game.
That's it's a stereotype.
Is it?
This is less the PCU Ultimate Frisbee.
Okay.
To cite the film PC, the Jeremy
love
Piven,
that movie.
the Jeremy Piven film,
Shout out
the
Piven.
transformative
Yes.
for Chuck.
Yeah, no,
Film PCU.
That movie made me not go to college. It made me join the military. I was like, I'll die. I'll become him or Van Wilder.
I would say the marijuana consumption of the Ultimate Frisbee community is in line with that of
The public writ large.
the public writ large and or the NBA podcasting community. Somewhere along there. No, so I'm an old guy.
Yeah.
I play. There are several older fellows like 40 and up on there because I just turned 40 like a couple months ago. And it's fun. It's good to exercise. There's some of the every now and then I do something good, and like the young
Surprise
and the
yourself.
young guys are like, all right, old head. All right, man. All right. Like kind of a nod. That's pretty cool. But honestly, most of the time, I was thinking of Lauri Markkanen, who is kind of scary, but the Bulls announced in the Raptors game that
heart had,
Lauri
flutters.
Markkanen experienced extreme fatigue during the first half of the game, and then he realized he couldn't really play anymore. Yeah, no, I feel that every Monday.
Yeah. That's
I have that every
It's
Monday.
called waking up in the morning.
But it is scary for Lauri. I mean, you don't want as a young guy.
Here's the thing.
But that thing, I ran around and then I got really fatigued and couldn't keep playing. Yeah, no, that's.
Yeah, my heart
It
was.
sounds like Lauri Markkanen just got old overnight. He aged 15 years overnight.
No, this is all just a way for these trainers to get these guys out of playing now because the Bulls are in full tank. Otto Porter's not
I
playing.
don't really
Wendell
bu-
Carter's not playing. Chris Dunn's not playing. They've started a bunch of nobodies. Who's that? Ryan Archimedes?
Archigiacono.
Marcano. That dude.
They did start.
He's fine.
They did start a guy. I don't know who he is.
There are players I've
Brandon
never.
Sampson.
That's not a real
I don't know
NBA
who
player.
that is. I mean, I don't want to joke because I don't want to joke too much because obviously they're going to be testing his heart because that's a weird thing. But
But like in a year from here's the thing. That's one of those lies. Like in a year from now, we'll
you
all
think it's
forget.
Okay.
Well, not. Do you think this is going to come back?
I don't know. This
is
sounds like Boylan is running his horses.
man.
Jim Boylan runs
Yeah.
his horses. He's not sitting his guys down.
Right. And maybe
so
you need like
I don't think this is a fake. I don't think this is a fake Mike Conley thigh soreness.
Right.
I don't buy that. So it was kind of scary, but no.
I think they've got this is all just, you have to come up with different ways to say out for the year, I think. And this is one of the more, I don't put it.
I'm disagreeing.
anything-
This is different.
You think this is a
This
real,
is-
like,
this is not
I'd
a-
like to see the EKG.
This is not.
I know
This is
I'm-
not a fake. Tank it up. This is a something's
It's
wrong.
just- it's
Something's
just-
wrong with Larky. I'm concerned with
Markey?
I'm gonna call him Marky.
Markey. Markey Post.
MAURKI. Marky is what I call
We'll
him.
put Marky Post moves. Get some night
No,
court.
I'm concerned for Larry Markkinen.
Oh yeah, I haven't read any of what I read
was.
was a quick headline that he had some heart things, and I'm cool with that. But it's just fishy to me that like these guys have these imagined
They
things.
exercise too much. We said it before.
They do. They work out.
I think they exercise too much.
Lori, just go ahead and be sedentary for a while.
Yeah, just chill.
Just chill, bro.
Just
eat
relax.
a donut with some bacon on it.
All right, those were our croissant questionnaires, listener submitted questions from our Patreon supporters. If you want to submit your own question, you got to become a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/fastbreakbreakfast.
SeatGeek saves you time and saves you money. Two of the more important commodities in our lives these days. They aggregate ticket selling sites together, so you don't have to go to 8 sites and then, I'm going to look at the 9th one now because I'm not quite sure. I was totally that way, of course. And then they also rank every ticket based on value. So you look at the section you want to sit in, find that big green dot, the darker green, the better. You'll start to experience just endorphins when you see that green dot and know that you're getting an awesome deal on the ticket. I used SeatGeek to go to a Bucks Wizards game, got awesome seats there for my fiance and me. So the way to get started with them, download the SeatGeek app and enter that familiar promo code
Fast break.
by using that code to get $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase. That's promo code
Fast break.
for $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase. Let them know that you came from us.
Fast break. John is an asshole. Fast break.
All right, steak and eggs. Best thing, Chuck. What's the best thing you got?
Shout out Jordan Bell, who is like, I would definitely want to go on a
Cash
road.
considerations, Jordan Bell.
I want to go on a road trip with him, and we'll share hotels, and he'll put porn on my account and make my wife get upset because she probably has to see the expense reports. And that's he's getting suspended for being a funny dude, you know. And we're for lacking professionalism, guys. This is a game. We're all grown-ups talking and playing a game.
So if you don't know what Chuck is talking about, Jordan Bell was suspended by the Warriors for conduct detrimental to the team.
Right.
And it looks like what he was doing was charging pay-per-view pornos
To Mike Brown's,
to assistant coach Mike Brown's room.
which is
So like it sounds like a funny prank,
right,
but the fact that he's suspended for conduct detrimental to the team
right.
means maybe
Well, he tweeted
not
out
a funny prank.
he tweeted out a little while ago about losing his wallet. He was going to
he
get
did.
playoff tickets.
Free
to,
playoff tickets to whoever finds my wallet.
So maybe I'm just like I'm very sympathetic to this man because he's
This
kind of the
guy-
Chuck of the NBA.
This guy does sound like you.
It's just me. He's playing
Did he
pranks
lose
on
his
people.
wallet in Memphis?
Probably lost
You've
his-
done that.
I've never lost my wallet in Memphis. I lost a phone in Memphis, and I lost $60 to an old lady who told me she was coming back with
Something else?
some cookies.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wasn't robbed in Memphis. I've been
you were
robbed
hustled.
before.
You were hustled.
I was hustled. There's a difference. Robbery involves like strong arm. It revolves somebody
or a threat.
of violence.
or- yeah.
Mine was, hey baby, I'll be right back. Let me get that 60. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And then she never came back.
Right.
And
No.
in fact, who came back was a much larger, burly man with a black and mild in his mouth.
That sounds more like robbery.
Well, it's more of just that was more of the intimidation. Like you've gotten okey doked. Now just go on before I mess you up.
Yeah.
I wasn't scared. It was just like, okay, I get it.
You
now.
understood the transaction.
I was like, oh, she went into that building. She didn't come back out, but probably her nephew did, who could bench press
Yeah,
me and my
okay.
friends.
So Jordan Bell might have actually does he have money problems?
I'm sure he's an
If he's-
NBA.
if
He's on
he's-
first contract in the
Well,
NBA.
I mean, if he's losing his wallet If he's having trouble pay-per-viewing the things he needs to pay-per-view.
Right.
I don't know. Well, also, maybe, did Mike Brown demand him be suspended because Mike Brown did not find it funny, but maybe everyone else on the Warriors thought it was hilarious.
Right. And so
That could be the situation.
So Steve Kerr was like, all right, Mike, I get it.
All right, Jordan, we got to suspend you. Mike's being real stuck up about this.
And like Steve's really mad about it. It's like, Jordan, we can't do this anymore. Mike, I'm going to need another minute with Jordan alone. We got to really get to the end of this. Mike shuts the door. This guy, you were great. That was great. Which one did you order?
That was hilarious.
Was it Stormy Daniels?
Right.
Please
right,
tell me
right.
it was Stormy Daniels.
It's like, you know, Mike's wife reviews his credit card reports on every road trip.
She's big on
He
the
cannot-
miles.
yeah.
She always looks at the credit card statement. She wants to know how many miles she racked up, and you're messing with his marriage now, Jordan. Stop it.
Yeah. So
It's great.
So I guess I'll have a best thing. I was about to say I have a ton of worse things. Well, so my best thing was going to be Colin Sexton.
Right.
Colin Sexton's been balling.
Yeah.
And I know this is March. Nothing that happens in March means anything.
Right.
But he looks good. You know, he doesn't assist, steal, block, rebound, but he puts the ball in the bucket, and he's putting the ball in the bucket at a great rate. And so that kind of turned into like a worst thing for me. My worst thing is my boy Jaren Jackson Jr. isn't going to sniff an all-rookie team.
No.
He might be lucky to make the second team.
Yeah.
So in the month of March, Colin Sexton is averaging 22 points per game, but more impressive to me, he's hitting 47% of his threes.
That's insane.
That's 2.6 makes per game.
Yeah.
So he's shooting threes at a high volume. He's averaging more made threes per game than Trae Young in the month of March. So that's something that I didn't think we thought was in Colin Sexton's game. So like the Cavs did a great breakdown season.
Yeah.
They traded away some guys. They got some assets. Their young guy looks pretty good.
Yeah.
And this is a guy who the first month of the season we thought was going to be bad. A lot of our friendly analytics people weren't very high on Colin Sexton.
Mm-hmm.
It is because of those lack of block and steal numbers, or, the no deflections,
Right.
and the fact we thought he couldn't shoot, but he's hitting all these shots. So I'm very impressed with him. And then you obviously you have Trae Young, who in the month of March is still on fire.
I mean,
he's averaging 24 and 8.
Yeah.
And the Hawks are winning games. Luka Doncic, Marvin Bagley is back.
Mm-hmm.
Marvin Bagley, who is averaging he's averaging 20 and 8 in 26 minutes per game.
Yeah.
So like all these guys are killing it. DeAndre Ayton, he's doing fine. Jalen Brunson's having a good season,
Fun.
and that is true.
That's
The Brunson burner is. That's looter in a riot. The Mavs are
just
they're like 1 and 11,
disheveled.
I think, in the last, 12. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, he's going to the playoffs.
Yeah.
That guy's good, and
Yeah.
his role is increasing. So all these guys, all these great rookies, just makes me sad that Jaren Jackson Jr. got shut down. It also makes me sad about another thing. I guess flipping to the actual cream of wheats. I got, again, like I said, several. Another rookie, Chuck. My boy Javon Carter.
Oh yeah.
I got it.
What's Javon Carter's big? Javon Carter is older than Jamal Murray, Gary Harris, and Nikola Jokic combined. Is that correct? In age?
That's the thing.
If you add all of their ages together.
So right now, Javon Carter has his field goal percentage is now dipped to 25.2%, 25% field goal shooting. Chuck, when is the last time?
Oh man,
When is the last time? Plus or minus 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're just competing against yourself, but
right? I get it.
plus or minus 5 years, Chuck. When is the last time an NBA player with a bare minimum cutoff of 400 minutes played
Right.
in a season? When is the last time an NBA player shot under 26% for the season?
I can't say. I don't know the player. Do I know the player?
No.
No. Okay. I guess correctly. There's no way I've heard.
Plus
of this
or
guy.
minus 5 years, Chuck.
So, has it happened within?
When? Yeah. What was the season? What year? was the last time a player shot under 26%?
65.
Plus or minus 5 years. That's incorrect.
Oh.
1956.
So close.
I can't even compute how many years ago that was. Is that 63 years ago?
63.
It's been 63 years. I mean, there are a handful. There's like 7 more garbage Grizzlies games left.
I can't
For
wait.
him to raise that field goal percentage, that is
Where's Tony Allen?
stunning. Tony Allen, so people are like, oh, that's funny. Tony Allen can't shoot. Let's see. Excuse me while I Google Tony Allen's worst season. I'm going to guess it was 44%.
That's hilarious.
No, like Marcus Smart is a guy who just chucks threes, has like a low field goal percentage. Like a 38.
Right.
38%. This cat is shooting 26% from the field. And he doesn't even have to shoot.
He's not getting the numbers because he hasn't been on Stackhouse. He hasn't been shooting volume.
No, never volume. He had an over 7 2 games ago. Like it's like the
So what do you got about him?
He's a guy who can just pick his spots.
Right.
If he doesn't shoot, you assume he's going to dribble, he's going to penetrate. He's choosing to shoot. He's picking his spots, low usage, still shooting.
Who would you compare him to? A player that I would know.
Oh, I do say his best case scenario. Like I made the joke, it was Nick Calathis, but I think I was talking about this online somewhere. I thought he reminded me, kind of in build too, of Anthony Carter,
Yeah.
who was a Heat player.
Yeah.
And when I was looking at like the worst true shooting seasons of all time,
Yeah.
Anthony Carter was like the only guard that popped up.
Yeah.
Because that means you have to be bad at free throws too, which Javon Carter is. But Anthony
Takes an
Carter was
impressive skill.
It's like I think it was a true shooting percentage of under 36%. It was like Anthony Carter and Javon Carter, one of the only people ever. Yeah, Tony Allen's final broken down season. Oh no, I'm sorry. Tony Allen's rookie year, he shot 43%. And then that was his lowest season.
Yeah. That's historically bad. But when you're trying to be bad, are you trying to be bad? Is Memphis trying to convey? What's the move?
I don't know, man.
What are they trying to do?
They always said they were trying to convey the pick to get at least up to ninth worst. So you have that whatever 20% chance of jumping in the top 4. Otherwise, you convey. And this is what I've been cheering for. I'm now concerned I was wrong. Because I mean, like, is it better? Is it better to convey and get all your stuff freed up, and then you have all your picks going forward, and this draft class is weak, blah blah blah, or is it better to have a 9% chance to get Zion Williamson?
Right.
Like, I'm starting to think I've messed up in what I've been cheering for. I mean, thankfully, what I cheer for has no way of affecting what actually happens.
You're cheering for high volume, low field goal percentage shooting nights.
Right. That's what I cheer for. But is it better? Is a 9% chance to get Zion Williamson the only path for the Grizzlies ever being good again? It might be.
Yeah.
So now, like getting down to 9, you have a 4.5% chance. So is it better for the Grizzlies to risk picking 6th, 7th, or 8th, but having a double their chance at just getting Zion Williamson?
Right.
So, and that's where I'm like, you know what? It might be worth it for that one.
You're buying a lotto
that
ticket.
1 in 11 lottery ticket to Zion Williamson, as opposed to a 1 in 20, 1 in 25.
Yeah, because I don't know. I remember back in the day, the good old days of the Heat being a top lottery team and doing all those simulations. Who gets the top pick?
Yeah,
man, it's just heartbreaking. And when you're playing for that though, when the season's over, it's kind of the only thing you have.
Well, so the Heat,
right?
And I think all of our listeners know I'm a very try to win, try to make the playoffs. But the Heat, if they miss the playoffs, because their record will be worse than the Kings,
right?
Almost
certainly,
probably
close.
If the Heat or whoever in the East misses the playoffs, jumps then into the lottery. And if you're the 13th spot in the lottery, which the Heat would be if the season ended right now, you now have a 4% chance of getting a top 4 pick.
Right.
That's pretty good.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not a bad consolation prize.
And it's something that you would
out on
that could unintentionally affect the way teams tank. We've removed the full tank for the number 1 spot, but what about the mini tanks for positional lottery
Yeah,
odds.
no. We have started, and I'm not bothered by this as a borderline I'm like almost a hardliner for anti-tanking.
Right.
But we've now entered the point where I don't. This is now an acceptable time
Right.
to get your tanking positioning on.
Right.
And people are fighting for that 5 spot. Again, the Mavs, eye on the prize.
That's right.
Eye on the prize, man. They've been losing everything.
Yeah.
The Pelicans, we didn't even talk about it like a week and a half ago.
It's dropped 9 of 10.
Well, the Pelicans threw a game against the Suns. Most spectacular loss of a game. They did a double Chris Webber. They could, like
It's a timeout.
They had a 5-second violation where they tried to call timeout, and the refs were like, "You don't have a timeout, so that's just a 5-second call.
Right.
We're not going to give the technical. Just a 5-second call. You're still up 3." Then their coaches were like, "Hey, foul. We're up 3. Foul." They did not foul. The Suns hit that 3-pointer. Then the Pelicans are like, "Hey,
We
ref,
need a timeout."
timeout."
And they're like,
The refs are like, "We already told you don't have a timeout. That's why you got the 5-second call." And they're like, "Fine, technical foul. You lose the game." And then it was amazing.
It's kind
most
of
incredible.
an incredible time.
The Grizzlies have accomplished their goal. I mean, it's almost impossible for them.
I am
not
interested
to
in
make
though
it.
as like a discussion about tanking is the reason why all this positioning is happening now because of Zion, because of the like top of the class and the ability for what is being hailed as a fat Sean Kemp.
No, that's fat. Sean Kemp is Vin Baker.
Yeah. No, I mean like this guy who could change the face of the NBA and everything I've seen him.
I don't think that's happening. I think now you're hitting the point where they're like, all right, if we're not in it, you might as well try to get, if you're in the 8 or 9 spot where you have a 5% chance, you might as well try to fight up to the 5 spot and get a 10% chance at Zion.
Yeah.
Or you do double your chances of a top 4 pick from 23 to 42%. But I do love the fact that even the Suns, the Knicks, the really bad teams, they only have a 14% chance at the top. They only have a 27% chance at the top 2.
Right.
I love that.
Yeah.
The Knicks have a 73% chance of picking 3rd or worse. That's awesome to me.
Yeah.
I feel like it's great. Not just because I hate the Knicks, but just because
They
it
deserve it.
doesn't reward their silly season.
I don't believe in karma, but I do believe in the Knicks getting what they deserve.
Chuck, I'm gonna do some more worsts. After
Okay,
you do
so
your
here's
worst.
here's my worst. So I was watching, I watched a couple basketball games a week. One of the games I was watching was this Indiana and Thunder game last night.
Right.
I was twisted. I've been drinking for 6 hours, but I'm with my girlfriend. I'm trying to explain the Bogdan and Bojan.
Bojan and Bogdan.
Bojan and
getting you bogged down.
Is it a? I got bogged down.
You got bogged down on the
So
Bogdan.
I didn't know what the Bogs or the Boj or the boy or the bands. And I was trying.
Boyan.
Boyan is for the Kings, and Bogdan,
Coach of the Bulls is Jim Boyan.
Boyan is coaching the Bulls, and then you got Boban Bogdanovich, and then
Not Boban. Now you're getting twisted.
see, but there's a Boban, and then there's a Bogdan, and there's a Maranovic, and a
Yeah.
Stoyanovich, and a Stojakovic, and a Maravich, whatever. Bitches be tripping.
My wife Abby said. My wife Abby, I said like, "Hey, we made a Boban Marjanovic shirt,"
Mm-hmm.
and she said, "Pistol Pete."
Right.
That was a great joke.
Yeah.
she knew she was making a joke, but
No, that's basically it. It's
Maybe
hard to keep up
but
with
you
all
can't
those
remember.
bitches.
Bojan,
Boyan.
no D.
Right.
That's how I remember. He
But it's
doesn't
with a
play D.
J, but I say Bojan, and that's not
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Because that's like Bojangles.
Bojan Horsejack.
Right.
Did I get that right?
Bowman Horsejack?
Bowman Horsejack.
That's it.
Whores.
Horse.
Vitches, as Chuck said.
Bitches.
VICHs.
It's hard. It's
Be
hard to
tripping.
keep up with all those swarthy Euro dudes.
You're the Bill Simmons. Who
But this
doesn't
was
even
the
try.
this was the worst. This is the point: is you can't search by last 4 letters of a name in Basketball Reference.
You were trying to show all.
I was
the
trying to
people
show
with
all the
VI
Vitches.
Yeah, yeah.
I was trying to say,
Yeah,
there's
Vucevic,
Vucevic, there's Matt Vitches in the
Jokic.
NBA.
Oh, he's just a kitsch.
It's just an itch.
Yeah.
So there's itches, there's Dragic, there's Nurkic, but that's not a Vitch.
What was the Sasha?
Sasha.
Vujacic.
Vujacic.
Yeah.
Oh man, we saw him. We saw him play in Memphis. It was that one time.
did he? Was he there?
Yeah, and Burr heckled him.
Oh, that's right.
He said something about Sasha Fierce. It was a Beyonce thing, and he turned around and laughed. That was a good
I
heckle.
do remember that. Another one of my
Worsts?
Another one of my worst is real quick. I was just thinking about how the Grizzlies could have hired Lloyd Pierce to be their coach. Instead
Oh,
of Jamie Bickerstaff.
man.
And they could have also had Trae Young. I mean, no,
Oh.
Jaren Jackson Jr. might still be better. He's
But what
but
would have,
Trae Young's pretty awesome.
but what would Trae Young have done?
Under Bickerstaff,
Under Mike,
Mike Conley?
as
Oh,
like his second fiddle.
another one of my worst things is Devin Booker scoring a lot of points.
Yeah,
Listen,
back to back 50 drops.
the Suns Wizards game on Wednesday night was amazing. That was one of my favorite basketball games I've watched all season. I love these games that are meaningless. That's like what I want the All-Star game to be like.
Right.
Because they were trying, but they were bad, and they were not doing any form of defense. I mean, Thomas Bryant had like 17 points and 18 rebounds.
Shout out,
Jabari
TB.
Parker had 28 and 15.
That's insane.
There's nothing to be learned in these games. And so, my anti-Booker position, which is I don't think he contributes to winning. He can obviously score like crazy.
Right.
That game was awesome to watch. He was on fire. He was crushing Shason Randall. I think that's how you say his
That's
name.
not a real name.
He was crushing Troy Brown,
That's it. Man.
not the New England Patriots wide receiver, apparently a basketball player on the Wizards. So he's crushing this worst defensive team in the NBA, and Suns fans are so abused. They've had such an awful last 9 years.
Oh my God.
Can't even make jokes about him anymore.
No, they're just.
It's like your
depressed.
buddy, I guess, who's just, his wife left him. He's unemployed. This is getting real personal.
Yeah, no,
I didn't mean to talk
he's
about
living
you.
in his car.
Living in his car. Like, we used to be able to rib. Like old Chuck used to be able to rib him.
Right.
Now it's like he gets real angry.
It's like, hey,
real angry when you joke
you
about
know that this is a sad part of my life that
Yeah.
you shouldn't stamp on.
But so like the Suns, you can't even joke with the Suns fans because they're so clinging on to the fact that Devin Booker is like an all NBA talent. He's a super good player. It's like, no, I don't think he is. But I mean, it's fun. He scored all those points. Did you see the end of the Jazz game?
No.
Why are they put him back in the last 3 minutes when they were down 31? This is doing him no favors in the court of public opinion. This is feeding podcasters like me.
Right.
If they don't do that, we're like, man, you got to get Devin Booker some help.
But you know who doesn't? You know what those games are for?
Basketball reference searches?
They're for basketball reference searches. His agent is telling him
Yeah.
he needs to get these buckets up because your points per game need to be up, because if you don't average more points per game than last year, you're going to be considered a failure. And that's more of the narrative of the front office stuff and the people who are signing contracts for shoe deals and things like that. These little games where guys go off against nobody teams, it's big picture stuff. They gotta get.
Well, it's also
in my head.
and I understand it goes into history.
Right.
You're like, oh, this guy scored this big,
Right.
big game. We talk about the Brendan Jennings rookie game. He scored 55 points.
Right.
They show that game on NBA TV sometimes. You should watch it. It is a shamockery.
Yeah.
It
It just wasn't
they're
real
playing the
basketball.
Warriors. Don Nelson could care less
He
what
didn't.
happens in that basketball game. He scored something like 30 points in the second quarter.
Yeah.
They never guard him. Don Nelson never calls timeout. So at least I like first half scoring. These into the game things where you're just trying to like the Kobe Bryant 80-point game. Like the last 3 minutes are ridiculous.
You know
to
who I
watch.
saw the other day? It was Biggie's birthday, or he was his anniversary of him getting shot. And I looked up the Anthony Mason highlights.
Oh yeah.
Because Biggie wrote a song about, it was, never named a Knicks player, but in the song he robs a New York Knicks player.
Yeah.
And after Anthony Mason died, a rapper, Fat Joe, came out and said it was Anthony Mason
Oh.
who got robbed in that song. I watched Anthony Mason highlights. Let me tell you, that guy was born in the wrong year.
Oh yeah.
Man, if he had a 3-point shot, he would be Draymond's granddad.
He's like a slow Julius Randle.
Exactly. Big, thick
But he
thigh.
like passed it from the elbow.
But he could pass and handle the ball. Would come down the court with, he was 6'8", 240, and could come down the court. Nobody was messing with him. He only dribbled with one hand, though. I didn't notice that. I watched highlights.
Like if Bam Adebayo really let himself go.
Boom. No, Bam's more like wiry.
Yeah, he is.
There's a fluidity to Anthony Mason's game that it was
Bam.
just,
Bam,
he always looked smooth.
Bam has that like what you're in the gym 6 hours a day. He's like, no, man, I eat McDonald's.
right.
You know, so like
Yeah, but he's got that length that and he's kind of awkward. I think Bam's not as like a fluid, like graceful athlete. But yeah, we were talking about Jamal Mashburn last week, and it made me remember my whatchamacallit. Anthony Mason wormhole because he's so great.
I mean, I don't.
And the haircuts. He got the patterns cut into his hair, names and stuff.
Oh, that was great.
That was the best
That was
ever
awesome.
in the 90s.
But going back to the Suns, I don't wish ill to that franchise. I kind of like again, I like the Suns a lot. They were one of my favorite teams.
Yeah, that
growing
was
up.
your squad when you were a kid.
I just, it's like, it was always my Boogie Cousins argument.
Right.
I know Boogie Cousins can do amazing things. I know he's more talented than almost every other player.
Skilled. Yeah.
But I'm not sure if being awesome 60% of the time of a basketball game and doing bad things the other 40% of the time, I don't know if just having a pretty good player might be better than that. A guy who does the right thing every time,
On both
who
sides.
finishes
of the court.
possessions, who plays hard, who cuts hard, who gets everybody involved.
Yeah.
I think it might be better. But again, maybe we'll see. Maybe the Suns will finally put talent around Devin Booker and he can win in a big game. But
No, I doubt it.
I'm taking the under on his team every season.
Yeah. And
Until it bites me.
yeah, those kind of teams, once they've been in that place, and I know, the Chuck Pot says culture a lot, but I do believe in a organization's structure allowing a team to be, successful on the court. And, I've heard it before. I didn't make this up, but a front office is the most valuable thing in basketball.
Yeah.
If you have a marked difference in the talent level or the competency of the front office, is much more important than how good your six man is.
And also, this is like Elfrid Payton's triple doubles.
Yeah.
What happens in March on losing teams isn't real.
Oh, I had a name for that. I said it in the Slack. If you're going off in March, you're one of the guys of March.
Oh yeah,
It's like the Ides
Guys-
of March,
Ides, all
but
right.
it's like guys, and they're not really there as like a guy.
I just think
there's levels.
Last season I saw Marshawn Brooks on the Grizzlies averaged 21 points per game over
Yeah.
the last month of the season. The Grizzlies front office thought it was real.
Yeah,
They inexplicably signed him to a guaranteed money this season.
big mistake.
So, if Devin Booker scores 40 points per game over the final month of the season,
Right.
Yeah, no, he's twice as good as Marshawn Brooks. No argument.
Right.
No argument. He's twice as good as a non-NBA player.
But what has he done for that team this year? And what is he going to do for the floor of that franchise's ability to win basketball games?
yeah, it's like if you
Does he raise the
exchanged him,
floor?
if you exchanged him with Jamal Murray,
Right. Yeah.
I'm not sure. Jamal Murray's been very inconsistent. Like that, but that's more my question is would Jamal Murray on the Suns, would they be the same as good or would they be better? I don't know.
Right.
Jamal Murray and Devin
I'm
Booker
always
hate each
interested.
other.
Yes, I'm always interested
Not
in,
really.
in
The
guys
rivalry.
I'm interested in guys like Devin Booker. Where would he have been? If some fluke happened, he was brought up in San Antonio's system.
Oh yeah.
Like
That's
what
for
kind
everybody.
of what? Yeah,
They made Derek White a baller.
My God.
I mean they made Bryn Forbes,
yeah,
who was the literal definition of just replacement guy. We
Yeah.
just found a guy, and now people are like, "Oh, Bryn Forbes is pretty good. What are they going to do next year? They have too many guards."
yeah. And they got DeJounte Murray coming back, and he was and all they have is 6'6" point guards who can hit an open three and play incredible defense and switch on three positions. So yeah, I'm interested in those kind of what if scenarios with players. But yeah, Devin Booker's he doesn't pass my he just seems like a dweeb. He just seems like
He
a
has some of that
dweeby
personality dweeb stuff.
that I'm just like, ugh. I don't, him, Aaron Gordon. He kind of
Whenever-
like that Chris Humphreys kind of vibe.
Right.
It's just like
you
you're
just mean nice eyebrows?
super.
They both have nice eyebrows.
They all have very, very
Well
smooth,
manicured.
very smooth skin.
Smooth skin. We're just jealous.
No, they're good-looking men. And they're great athletes, and I'm not either of those things.
That's true.
So this is where my podcast stems from: my hatred of successful men.
Let's move to the awards segment of the program. The International Stackhouse of Pancakes Award, given each week to the worst performance in a box score. It is surely one of these tabs I have open.
I can guess
Here we are.
somebody that's in it.
Honorable mentions this week. We have Kevin Love, Davis Bertans, Jimmer Fredette, 1 for 10. Jimmer Fredette coming in, shooting in that 59-point game for Devin Booker. I think he played 14 minutes, was 1 for 10.
Yeah.
Incredible. Blake Griffin, Kyle Kuzma, also honorable mention at 4 for 17. Oh, I think I missed
Man.
one. Oh, and De'Aaron Fox, honorable mention.
Swipe it a fox.
A very impressive 3 for 16. All right. We have 4 nominees as they occurred chronologically through the week. Luka Doncic, he puts up some shots.
Yeah. His legs are just not there anymore.
4 for 19, had 13 points, 10 boards, 3 assists, a turnover, and a personal foul in a loss to the Kings. 4 for 19, 13, 10, and 3. Kemba Walker in that miracle victory against the Raptors was only 3 for 17, but 15 points, 8 rebounds, 13 assists, 4 steals, a turnover, and 2 personal fouls. Derek White, 0 for 10, but 0 for 10 with 4 points. However, 7 assists, 5 rebounds, 2 blocks, 2 steals, 3 turnovers, 5 personal fouls. He was trying.
He tried.
He tried hard. And then Rajon Rondo in a loss to the Jazz, 1 for 11, 3 points, 6 assists, 5 steals. No, 5 rebounds, a steal, a turnover, no personal fouls. Maybe try.
Try a little bit.
Luka Doncic, 4 for 19, but 13, 10, and 3. Kemba Walker, 3 for 17, but 15, 13, and 8. Derek White, 0 for 10, but all the sexy stats. What he got, four stocks and 8 towels. I love it. And then Rajon Rondo, 1 for 11, 3 points, 6 assists, 5 boards.
I'll go Rondo.
Yeah, I think no reason to make it a messy tie.
No.
Rondo works.
Rondo works.
For me. 1 for 11. Congratulations on your garbage season, you garbage player on a garbage franchise, the Los Angeles Lakers.
Hey, we haven't talked about them not making the playoffs. Has anybody else talked about that?
They're not going to make the playoffs with LeBron James?
I've heard.
That's crazy.
Somebody mentioned it. I think I saw a meme.
That's crazy.
Yeah, isn't it? I thought they were going to win 50 games.
Well, that's on you.
No. That's what, yeah.
I think we were unanimous under.
Were we?
Yeah, we were unanimous under.
Yeah, I thought it was either going to be like
because
this.
their under was like 48. We were
Yeah.
like, that's a little
They're
high.
not winning 50 games.
that's a little high. All right, par fadeaway, Chuck. What things are we looking forward to? Upcoming?
I'm looking forward to seeing Chris Bosh's number up in the rafters next time I'm down in the American Airlines Arena.
They raised it up.
They put it up there. It's a great moment for the NBA. Chris Bosh gave a cool little speech and riled up the crowd right before we lost to the Magic.
Shouldn't have lost that game.
Shouldn't have lost that game, but I would right now would love to see Chris Bosh in Miami Heat uniform just to see what he could do and just play home games. I never understood why they couldn't just let him never fly.
Never fly.
Just play home games.
Never run.
You just
stand in the corner.
In the corner shooting and just be like UD basically does that. Haslam is effectively that.
UD's getting the jersey retired?
For sure.
Number 40?
That's for pure culture.
Just for Nick Collison? Just to undo?
You have to wash Nick Collison out. Yeah,
just
for sure.
Just to even that out.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking forward to your Heat in this legit playoff race.
It's a real playoff race.
The Nets are in trouble.
They spiraling in a
I
very
think 2.5 games separate the Nets, the Pistons, the Magic, the Heat, and the Hornets, and only 3 are getting in. It's gonna be tight because I think the Pistons are on the West Coast right now, and I know the Nets are on the West Coast trip.
Yeah,
things are gonna get tight for those guys. And also Nick Vucevic. Give this man his love.
Man,
he's carrying the Magic.
He's doing an incredible job. He's going to get
paid.
Steve
Clifford. He's not going to get paid though.
Bucci's not going to get paid.
I mean, maybe the Magic open up the old DeVos checkbook.
Somebody give him money.
The DeVoses have a little bit more money, stealing from the Special Olympics. they can now pay Nick Vucevic
all that Blackwater cash.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing some good playoff races. I was wrong about the. I think whoever makes the playoffs in the East is going to be over 500. There's no. I thought.
Oh yeah.
I thought there was like
they're probably all going to get to 41.
Yeah,
or at least a couple are
at least going to be at 500. I didn't. Last week I said I think
that's a worthwhile apology. If all the East playoff teams are 500,
I thought they were going to.
No, I thought 3 of them were going to be under 500.
Right. So that was something that we could look back at next week. So we'll see how those that scrum there at the bottom of the East is going. It seems like the rest of the NBA is pretty set.
Yeah. The West is all set outside of the seeding.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to there's 2 weeks left on this trash Grizzly season. Mike Conley became the Grizzlies' all-time leading scorer.
Shout out, Mr. Grizz.
He's now one of 3 players to be to lead his franchise in points, threes, assists, steals, and games played.
That's a rafter.
The other two are LeBron James with the Cavs.
Wow.
And Reggie Miller
Wow.
with the Pacers. So Mike Conley is the, I guess perhaps the greatest.
Greatest Grizzly ever.
I don't know. I've always said Gasol or Zebo, but the longevity of Conley, he's not gotten the scoring.
He stuck around.
But he never
matters.
Never made an All-Star game.
But it
I'm
matters.
still going Zebo or Marc Gasol. But
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to, more importantly, in the final 2 weeks of the season, will he deliver us that technical foul he owes us?
Oh.
Never gotten a technical foul.
Somebody should DM
These are the
Stackhouse.
last 2 weeks. I added Stackhouse on Twitter.
Did you? We should send him a message.
I can't.
Hey, you promised us.
You promised.
You promised us
He
a
said
technical
he
foul.
said he would get us a technical foul. He also said he would probably sing the national anthem. They only got 2 more. Home games.
You've got
I got
ends with
I got
with
people I could email.
referees, right? Maybe we can figure out a back channel to get them.
Oh, you want me to email the referees
yeah,
and
just
say,
be like, hey, can we just give him like
Can
an
you just-
unofficial tech, like after the game's over
I want him to do it a day he's in street clothes.
when he's not in the game?
What, like at Hoosiers? Isn't it? I haven't seen Hoosiers in 20
Oh, I haven't
years.
seen it in 20 years.
Isn't it in Hoosiers? Isn't there a scene where Coach Dale's like, "Hey, give me a tech. I want a tech." He's like, "What, Coach? Yeah, I need a tech. Throw me out. Because that's how he puts
that.
he puts the drunk dad.
Right.
Dennis Hopper gets to coach a game. He's like, "Hey, throw me out of the game." That's what Mike Conley needs to do. Like, hey, throw me out
Just
of the
throw
game.
me out of the game.
I'm just gonna.
We're up by 20. There's 3 left.
So two weeks left. Mike Conley. If Mike Conley goes to another team
for sure.
and gets a technical foul on another team,
No longer Mr. Grizzly.
I'm gonna die. I will literally die. I'll be so sad. Anyway, if you want to support our show, you can do that at patreon.com/fastbreakbreakfast. If you're buying tickets, hey, go to SeatGeek and use our code FastBreakBreak, same as the Twitter handle. You still get $20 off. If you use like a low post code, you only get $10 off.
Right.
So I'm just saying.
We got the deals, bro.
Support the little guy. Fast Break Break is the code there. Fast Break Break also on Twitter. Follow us on Facebook and on Instagram. All right, you guys are the best. Thanks for listening. And remember, breakfast is the most important thing.
Yeah, never apologize for being G&G. Fast break, man. You understand?